Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Baba Giri Paradhari Jana Baba Giri Paradhari Gopi Jana Baba Giri Paradhari Giri Paradhari Yasharanandana Rajajanaranjana Yasharanandana Rajajanaranjana Yamunācārya Panachari Yamunācārya Panachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada
Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada
Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Jaya Mishapad Paramahansa Parivajagacharya Stuta Sadashi Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. All glories to the Assam devotees. All glories to the Assam devotees. All glories to the Assam devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse 24. Avyaktam vyaktim āpannaṁ manyante mamāvyayam param bhāvam ajānanto mamāvyayam anuttamam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Unintelligent men who do not know me perfectly think that I, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kṛṣṇa, was impersonal before and have now assumed this personality. Due to their small knowledge, they do not know my higher nature, which is imperishable and supreme. Purport. Those who are worshippers of demigods have been described as less intelligent persons, and here the impersonalists are similarly described. Lord Kṛṣṇa in his personal form is here speaking before Arjuna, and still due to ignorance, impersonalists argue the Supreme Lord ultimately has no form. Yāmunācārya, a great devotee of the Lord and disciplic succession of Rāmanujacārya, has written a very appropriate verse in this connection. He says, Tam shila rupa charitai paramāpakishte satvena sat vikataya prabalaischa sastre prakya tadaiva paramarta viramataischa naiva suraprakritaya prabhavanti bodham. My dear Lord, devotees like Vyasadeva and Narada know you to be the personality of Godhead. By understanding different Vedic literatures, one can come to know your characteristics, your form, and your activities, and one can thus understand you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But those who are in the modes of passion and ignorance, demons, non-devotees, cannot understand you. They are unable to understand you. However, experts such non-devotees may be in discussing Vedanta and Upanishads and other Vedic literatures. It is not possible for them to understand the personality of Godhead. Stotra Ratna 12. So this is a very long purport, so I'm going to just summarize this paragraph in one sentence, so then you can remember as we go on. So here Prabhupada is describing who is not intelligent, and that is the demigod worshippers and the impersonalists. Not only are they unintelligent, Prabhupada says they are asuras. This is Yāmunācārya says they are non-devotees, they are demons. They are in the modes of passion and ignorance. So he's calling the demigod worshippers and the impersonalists demons. They're impersonalists, or we're renounced. No, they're demons. And non-devotees, they are not devotees, of course, because they don't believe in the form of Kṛṣṇa. They don't believe Kṛṣṇa is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, we read the next paragraph and then we'll summarize. In the Brahma Samhita it is stated, the personality of God cannot be understood simply by study of Vedanta literature. Only by mercy of the Supreme Lord can the personality of the Supreme be known. Therefore, in this verse, it is clearly stated that not only are worshippers of demigods less intelligent, but those non-devotees engaged in Vedanta and speculation on Vedic literature without any tinge of true Krishna consciousness are also less intelligent. And for them, it is not possible to understand God's personal nature. Persons who are under the impression the absolute truth is impersonal are described as abuddhayaḥ, which means those who do not know the ultimate feature of the absolute truth. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated, supreme realization begins from impersonal Brahman and then rises to localized supersoul, but the ultimate word in absolute truth is personality of Godhead. Modern impersonalists are still less intelligent, for they do not even follow their great predecessor, Shankaracharya, who has specifically stated that Kṛṣṇa is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Impersonalists, therefore, not knowing the Supreme Truth, think Kṛṣṇa to be only the son of Devaki and Vasudeva, or a prince, or a powerful living entity. This is also condemned by Bhagavad Gita 9:11, ajānantamam mudha manushim tanamashritam. Only fools regard me as an ordinary person. So here, this paragraph talks about how Vedanta philosophy study is not going to help you. It's a waste of time, and you won't be able to understand how Kṛṣṇa is the Supreme Personality of Godhead by studying Vedanta. Brahma Samhita says this also. You can, Vedanta, you study Vedanta, but it doesn't help. But those who are devotees, they can understand. How do they understand? Not by studying Vedanta, by mercy of the Supreme Lord. That's how you understand. You get the mercy. And now here in this paragraph, Prabhupada is calling them abuddhayaḥ. Well, Kṛṣṇa is calling them those who don't know the ultimate feature of absolute truth. And also they're called fools. Quoting chapter 9 of Bhagavad Gita, they are fools and rascals. So many names. Prabhupada is calling the impersonalists here. Not Prabhupada, Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa is calling them. Also here in chapter 7, Maya Aparita Jnana, their knowledge is stolen by Maya. They have some knowledge, yes. Vedanta they know, but it is stolen because they don't know that Kṛṣṇa is supreme. So third paragraph, the fact is, no one can understand Kṛṣṇa without rendering devotional service and without developing Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Bhagavatam 10:14-29 confirms this. Atapite deva param bhajadaya prasaradeshanugrihita evahi janati tatam bhagavan mahimna nachanye kapi chiram vichinvan. My Lord, if one is favored by even a slight trace of the mercy of your lotus feet, he can understand the greatness of your personality. But those who speculate and to understand the Supreme Personality of God are unable to know you, even though they continue to study the Vedas for many years. One cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kṛṣṇa, or his form, quality, or name, simply by mental speculation or by discussing Vedanta literature. One must understand him by devotional service. One is fully engaged in Kṛṣṇa consciousness, beginning chanting Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Then only can one understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Non-devotee impersonalists think Kṛṣṇa has a body made of this material nature, and all of his activities, form, and everything are Maya. These impersonalists are known as Mayavadis. They do not know the ultimate truth. So this paragraph again, Prabhupada is explaining it's by the mercy of the Lord you can know him, and also by doing devotional service you can know him, and by chanting Hare Krishna you can know Kṛṣṇa, you can understand Kṛṣṇa, just by the chanting. So this is very nice positive part here. Most of the purport is how you cannot understand Kṛṣṇa, but this paragraph is giving us some hope here that we can understand Kṛṣṇa if we chant. Simply chant your 16 rounds and follow the 4 regulative principles. Now the next paragraph, 20th verse clearly states, Kamaistaishchaya hitagana prapadyante anya devataha. those who are blinded by lusty desires surrender unto the different demigods. It is accepted that besides the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there are demigods who have their different planets, and the Lord also has a planet. As stated in 23rd verse, Devan, Devayajo Yanti, Mabhakta, Yanti Mamapi. Worshippers of demigods go to the different planets of the demigods. Those who are devotees of Lord Kṛṣṇa go to the Krishaloka planet. Although this is clearly stated, the foolish impersonalists still maintain the Lord is formless, and these forms are impositions. From study of Gita, does it appear the demigods and their abodes are impersonal? Clearly, neither demigods nor Kṛṣṇa, Supreme Personality of Godhead, are impersonal. They are all persons. Lord Kṛṣṇa is Supreme Personality of Godhead. He has his own planet, and the demigods have theirs. So this purport is about how everybody is a person. Even the demigods are a person, even Kṛṣṇa is a person. And you can go to Krishnaloka, and that's what we're trying to do here. And again, he's calling the impersonalists foolish, foolish, foolish. Don't be an impersonalist, or else you'll be foolish. Last paragraph. Therefore, the monistic contention that ultimate truth is formless and form is imposed does not hold true. It is clearly stated here, it is not imposed. From Bhagavad Gita, we can clearly understand the forms of demigods and form of the Supreme Lord are simultaneously existing, and Lord Kṛṣṇa is Satchidananda, eternal blissful knowledge. The Vedas also confirm the Supreme Absolute Truth is anandamaya abhyasat, or by nature full of blissful pleasure, and he is a reservoir of unlimited auspicious qualities. And in Gita the Lord says, although he is aja, unborn, he still appears. These are the facts we should understand from Bhagavad Gita. We cannot understand how the Supreme Personality of Godhead can be impersonal. The imposition theory of impersonalist monists is false. As far as the statements of Gita are concerned, it is clear herein the Supreme Absolute Truth, Lord Kṛṣṇa, has both form and personality. So the last paragraph is stressing how Kṛṣṇa is a person. He has a form like we do. Supreme Lord, he's a person. We can talk to him. We can go to the deities and pray to him, and we will get answers. So there was one time one devotee asked Srila Prabhupada, why do the impersonalists fall down from the Brahmajyoti? Why do they fall down? Why? Prabhupada said, because they are lonely. There's no people up there. You're just a spark. You can't do anything. You don't have any desire. Well, of course you're happy, but you're not completely happy because there's no love there. You can't experience love between yourself and the Lord, or even between any other living entities, and that's why they come back here. They don't know the spiritual world, so they come here, they mean, oh yeah, at least here I can have some relationships. But there, you're just in the box. Like Srila Prabhupada said, a child is making trouble. So sometimes you tell the child, go sit in the corner for 5 minutes, don't do anything. So all the impersonalists are sitting in the corner in Brahmajyoti, and don't do anything, just be quiet. Don't do nonsense here, don't disturb. So in the Brahmajyoti, they can't make any disturbance and make their crazy philosophy. So this purport, we heard all about how the impersonalists are foolish, unintelligent, so many things. So what I wanted, and we did hear a little bit about understanding Kṛṣṇa and how you should understand Kṛṣṇa. So it's stressed about who are the people who are not intelligent. So what I want to talk about today is intelligence and how we should have spiritual intelligence. We need to use our intelligence for Kṛṣṇa. We all have intelligence. But how do we use it? We should not use it to try to enjoy in this material world. It will not work. We will be baffled because Maya is stronger than we are. But if we use our intelligence for Kṛṣṇa, then we will succeed. So in Mahabharata, Yudhisthira Maharaj was asked the question, who is our best friend? And what was his answer? Who is our best friend? Intelligence. Intelligence is our best, yes, Kṛṣṇa of course is our best friend. But he was just speaking more on the level that we are. The people don't know Kṛṣṇa. So he's saying, yeah, intelligence. But if you think about intelligence, it's Kṛṣṇa actually. Because Gita says, from me come intelligence, knowledge, remembrance, forgetfulness. So intelligence is actually Kṛṣṇa. We'll hear more about that in this class. So there are 3 divisions of intelligence: waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 26th chapter, talks about intelligence. What are the functions of intelligence? They help us to see the nature of objects when we see something. They help the senses also to work. And it helps us make choices. It helps the senses make choices. And the mind is actually the one who makes the choices. Yes, I accept this, I reject that. But intelligence tells us, no, this is good for you to accept, this is bad. You should reject this, you should accept this. When our intelligence is spiritual, then it helps us. When our intelligence is material, then it will tell us, no, you should go, don't go to temple, go to the cinema. Better. Of course, in Vrindavan we don't have, so you're lucky you're in Vrindavan. You don't have to make that choice about where to go, because it's only Bhagavad Katha here and Kirtan, and so a good place to stay here. Don't go out of Vrindavan. So yes, we have these choices. So proper use of intelligence, then we can expand our consciousness. And of course that means Kṛṣṇa consciousness, by using our intelligence. No, where does intelligence come from? It comes from Super Soul. He's the form direction of our intelligence. So how do you get more intelligence? Suppose, like sometimes they say, oh, you're a Shudra, you're not intelligent, you're a lady, you're not intelligent. But guess what? If you chant Hare Krishna, you're connected with the ocean of intelligence. You're connected with Kṛṣṇa. And you can get as much intelligence as you want if you chant attentively to Kṛṣṇa. And so Kṛṣṇa, it's described here. There's Brahman, there's Paramatma, and there's Bhagavan. So Bhagavan is our goal, but we do have Kṛṣṇa in our heart as Paramatma. And he's listening to us chant Hare Krishna. He's listening whatever we do. And he's giving us instructions. What to do, what choices should we make. So Srila Prabhupada gives the analogy of a master taking his dog for a walk. You don't see that here in Vrindavan, the dogs just run. But in the West, you people taking dogs for a walk. One time, Prabhupada was walking in a morning walk in the park, and he saw people taking the dogs. Dog was on a rope, on a leash, and Prabhupada was crying. He said, yes, this life, they're holding the leash. Next life, they will be on the other side of the leash. They will be the dog. They will be the dog. So this is not fun. Even though one time in the University of Hawaii, Prabhupada was giving a lecture, and he said, yes, you can become dog in your next life. And one student raised his hand and said, what is the harm to become a dog? And Prabhupada said, okay, you have my blessing. So, no, we don't want to become dog. It's not nice. You leave this body as a human, and then you go to hell and learn how to live like a dog, eat all kinds of nasty things. And then you get the dog's body and suffer. So here, so the master's taking the dog for the walk. The dog can do whatever he likes. The master waits. He's passing urine, passing stool, he's running, he's doing. But then when he takes the leash back, okay, time to go home. So we are like the dog, and Super Soul is like our master. And he's just letting us go and do different things, but he's waiting. He's waiting. Sometimes he'll take the leash back and he'll take us back home. So that's where we want to go. We want to go back to Godhead. And that was Prabhupada's analogy. He's telling us in Gita where we should go and what we should do. We should give him offering, patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam. He's not hungry, but he's just saying, you give me these things and it will be good for you if you give it. So Krishna is always with us. He's so kind. Whatever body we take, he is here with us. And he came as Lord Chaitanya, and he was teaching us how to do devotional service. In Bhagavad Gita, sarvadharmam paritaja mamekam sharanam vraja. Very interesting. So Prabhupada said, another translation, of course we know the translation from Gita, surrender to me and I will give you protection. So Prabhupada gave many translations of this verse, and in one lecture he said, why are you suffering here? Give up all these engagements, because whatever you do will give you trouble, will give you misery. Don't bother manufacturing your ways of thinking. So that's another dharma. We have our own dharmas. In India, everyone has their own dharma. Each person has their own. If you talk to them, everyone has their own philosophy. But Prabhupada said, he's translated that verse, give up your own ideas and surrender to Kṛṣṇa. So sometimes the super soul, he makes us forget who we are. How does he make us forget? Again, Prabhupada gives us an analogy of you're in a drama, you're in a play. And the director, who is expert, makes you forget who you really are so you can play the role in the drama. So Super Soul makes us forget our real identity as servant of Kṛṣṇa. So we can be, yes, okay, I'm man, I'm woman, I'm this, I'm that, I'm king, I'm a merchant, I'm businessman. He makes us forget, and we think, oh, yes, I am this. And so we are very unfortunate. But he comes as, in Bhagavad Gita here, he says, don't be entangled. Here's another one, another translation. Don't be entangled in these things. Surrender to me. So, but we don't want. So Maya helps us forget. Super Soul helps us forget. And Krishna is trying to help us remember. If we read Bhagavad Gita, every verse, it's to remember Kṛṣṇa. And if you want to enjoy here, okay, he's walking you like the dog. And you'll just become more and more entangled. And recently I was reading a commentary on the 1866 Sarvadharmam Paritaja, that where it said, Sarvadharmam Paritaja mamekam sharanam vraja. So vraja means Braj. We are here in Braj. So this commentator was saying, yes, Braja is in Bhagavad Gita, prema, Braja prema. It means come to prema, come to Braj prema. He was saying, isn't that wonderful? There is prema in Bhagavad Gita, Braj prema. The word Braj is there in the most famous verse. So yes, we should go to Braj. We are in Braj, so not a problem. We already went. But is your mind in Braj? Morning walk, Prabhupada was walking with two devotees, and one devotee said to Prabhupada, which is better, to be in Goloka Vrindavan, spiritual world, or Gokul over here? Prabhupada said, both are the same, but your mind is in America. So, where's your mind? That you have to ask. Are you thinking of Kṛṣṇa? How many times a day do you think of Kṛṣṇa? Japa time, okay, Mangalarti. And what about the rest of the day? How many times? Good to look and check. How many times thinking of Kṛṣṇa? So Kṛṣṇa, he's noting, he's in our heart, he's noting our desires and helps us to fulfill. Just like he does fulfill desires of non-devotees, so why not for devotees? He does fulfill, especially in Vrindavan. Careful what you think. Careful what you think here. You will get it one way or the other. And it may be the other, so you won't want it again. That will happen. Another thing to learn about living in Vrindavan is it's better to do some austerities than have them forced upon you. Like don't eat outside, be careful what you eat, and all these things. Yes. So we have to understand Kṛṣṇa with our intelligence. These mental speculators, Srila Prabhupada talked, and we heard a lot about the impersonalists. It's all about the impersonalists in the Purport. Prabhupada said after many, many lifetimes of speculation, they start to understand Kṛṣṇa. Bahunam jamanamante gyanavan mam prabhadete. After many lifetimes. Why does it take many lifetimes? It takes many lifetimes for them to get shraddha. They don't have shraddha. They don't have faith. So that's why it takes so many lifetimes. So Buddhi Yoga, we are following the process of Buddhi Yoga, the yoga of intelligence. Did you know that? Bhakti Yoga, another name is Buddhi Yoga. We are following the path of intelligence, the yoga of intelligence, to connect our intelligence with Kṛṣṇa's intelligence, with Kṛṣṇa's desires. So what does that mean? That's described in the 10th chapter of Gita, verse 10. Tesham satadhyuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamāvyayam te. Who does Kṛṣṇa give buddhi to? Who does Kṛṣṇa talk to? One who is doing devotional service with priti, with love, with attachment. Then you get knowledge. So an intelligent person will think, why should I wait so many births to surrender to Kṛṣṇa? Why not surrender immediately? Why not now? And so it's good, in India sometimes people say, okay, when I'm old. When you're old, what are you going to do? You can't even walk properly or see properly. Then you'll surrender. What are you going to surrender to Kṛṣṇa? Your old body full of disease? So that's why it's good to surrender when you're young and you can do things. Don't wait. Don't wait till you're old and can't do anything. Don't wait. That's what Prahlad Maharaj said. Komaram acharet pragyo. When you're Komara, young, 5 years old, you should surrender to Kṛṣṇa. So how to qualify yourself to hear Kṛṣṇa as Super Soul in your heart? Again, somebody asked Prabhupada that question. You know, there's a philosophy, common philosophy here in the West. A lot of religious groups think God can be understood directly from within. No guru is necessary. You don't need a guru, you just understand whatever speaks in your mind. And so Prabhupada said, he's a rascal. And one who accepts him is a rascal. Then he started blasting the devotee who brought that up. He said, how do you think God is speaking to him? You don't read Bhagavad Gita? You don't know who God speaks to? Tesham satatayuktanam. That one who is worshipping Kṛṣṇa in devotional service, not a third-class fool. 124 hours engaged in devotional service. So we heard Prabhupada call the impersonalists in this very big purport so many names. Fool, rascal, also asura, demon. That was Yāmunācārya who said that. And unintelligent, Kṛṣṇa says abuddhayaḥ. But we are following the most intelligent process. Kṛṣṇa varanam tvisa Kṛṣṇam. Sangopangasta parshadam. Yagyai sankirtana prayai. Yajanti hi sumedha. Who is sumedha? Sumedha means so much buddhi, so much intelligence. Who has the brain? Who is doing sankirtan yagya? They have brain. Kali Yuga, nobody has brain. It's gone. It's lost. Everyone is kalo shudra sambhava. Nobody has any. Everyone is born shudra. But if you do Harinam Sankirtan, you have very nice brain. And your brain is developing. So good to go on Harinam, good to chant Hare Krishna. So Super Soul, he gives instructions to the sincere devotee how to do devotional service. He's in the heart. And the devotee experiences everything new and happy when he does devotional service. So what is the vision of a devotee? He sees the Super Soul everywhere. Kṛṣṇa book says in chapter 80, if one can simply think Kṛṣṇa as Paramatma is everywhere, even in the atom, then one can perfect his thinking, feeling, and willing functions of the mind. If you want to perfect your thinking, feeling, and willing, then you see Paramatma, see Kṛṣṇa everywhere, in every atom. All the people who come to the temple, don't see them taking their selfies with the phone. See them, oh, they're trying to see the deities. They came here to worship Kṛṣṇa. Yeah, this is very good. They're going to make some advancement, hopefully. Yeah, at least they're taking pictures of Kṛṣṇa also. And so this, you try to see Kṛṣṇa there. So now, sometimes we wonder, well, yeah, it's very nice. We're doing service here. But, so, should we desire to go back to Godhead? Or should we desire to stay here and spread Kṛṣṇa consciousness? So Burijan asked Prabhupada that question. Should I desire to stay here or desire to go back? And Prabhupada answered, why do you want me to come back here for you? I mean, don't stay here. Go back to Godhead. Now, Achyutananda asked that question. He got a completely different answer. Achyutananda asked, which is more important, go back to Godhead or spread Kṛṣṇa consciousness? So Prabhupada said, one who is preaching Kṛṣṇa consciousness is already back to Godhead. So if you are preaching, you are in the spiritual world. You're back to Godhead. You are with Kṛṣṇa. Preacher means he engaged body, mind, and words only to glorify the Lord. Jivan Mukta, he's liberated. He's with Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa is talking with him. And if you read some of the discussions of the pastimes of the book distributors, you will see how they get inspiration. And like Kṛṣṇa is talking, oh, tell this one this, tell one. They don't know how they're speaking to different people to get them to take the books. But yeah, preacher is back to Godhead. He's in Vaikuntha, Prabhupada said. So yes, you should be a preacher, you should distribute books, try to please Kṛṣṇa in that way. Please Kṛṣṇa. So when you follow instructions of Guru, you will also get intelligence. Intelligence means you try to see what the Guru is telling you, try to understand and accept what the Guru is instructing you to do. So this is the only secret of success. You want to execute the mission of the spiritual master. And Prabhupada in a purport said, instead of being eager to see the Lord in some bush of Vrindavan, at the same time engaging in sense gratification, if one instead sticks to the principle of following the words of the spiritual master, he will see the Lord without difficulty. I was just reading somewhere where Prabhupada said, some of these Babajis, they are making bidis and selling them. So this is not Vaishnava activity, to become a bidi maker, and at the same time just sit and chant the whole day, and in your spare time you make bidis and sell them. This is not good. So Krishna will give us intelligence. Real intelligence, yes, buddhi yoga. And what happens when you get intelligence? Then you become like scientists. It says the devotees are like scientists. They exchange their realizations, just like scientists exchange their theories. Oh yeah, I discovered this, I discovered that. So devotees do that too, and they're happy. They're happy exchanging realizations. So eagerness, the qualification is eagerness. That we need eagerness, this enthusiasm, determination to really want to serve Kṛṣṇa. So there's an example of my godbrother in Bombay. He's no longer with us, but he was a street kid, living on the streets without mother, father, and he was probably stealing, pickpocketing. So, but then he went to jail, and he got back to Godhead in the jail, and he saw a picture of Prabhupada with a very nice watch. And he thought, I want to steal that watch. He came to the temple and became a devotee. He said, I need to meet your spiritual master. They said, well, he's not here, he's in South India. So he went to South India, he went to see Prabhupada. And he said, so, yeah, it's so nice to meet you, Guruji. But then he became changed. And he said, he became purified. And he said, oh yes, I realized I was wrong, I want to surrender to you. Prabhupada showed him his, you want this? He said, no, it's okay, Guruji. I don't want. And he became later on very, very rich, owning 2 flats in Bombay, and he was in a Bollywood movie, I think. But what happened, Prabhupada said, I'm sending you to the West. This was in 1970s, where so many Indians wanted to go to the West. I don't know if they still do, but in those years, they really wanted to go. You know, he was a street boy. Prabhupada said, I'm sending you to the West. So after some time, he said, why didn't go? And the devotee said, well, I can't get a passport because I don't know who my father is. And they need your father's name. So Prabhupada said, show me your passport. And Prabhupada wrote A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami as his father's name. So, yeah, he was very fortunate, yes. And he did go to the West, and he did get lots of money in this life. He became very rich. And, yeah, so we have to have, he had that eagerness to see Srila Prabhupada, no matter what, and he became very successful. A nice devotee also, very nice devotee. So yes, this eagerness is not so easy. You need mercy. You need mercy to have that eagerness. And so we need to pray to Kṛṣṇa for mercy. Now very soon my daughter-in-law is going to give birth to a baby. The baby is already 2 days late. This is in America. So in Bhagavatam 3rd Canto, it's described the prayer of the child in the womb. So this is a devotee child, 3rd generation. Very likely that this child is praying like this baby in the womb. So I'll share the prayer with you. My dear Lord, by your causeless mercy, I'm awakened to consciousness, although I'm only 10 months old. For this causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, friend of all fallen souls, there is no way to express my gratitude but to pray with folded hands. And Prabhupada also gave us a prayer that we can pray to Super Soul. My dear Kṛṣṇa, please remind me to always chant your holy name. Please do not put me into forgetfulness. You are sitting within me as Super Soul. You can put me into forgetfulness or into remembering you. So please do not put me into forgetfulness. Please always remind me to chant. Even you send me to hell, it doesn't matter, as long as I can always chant Hare Kṛṣṇa. So always remember Kṛṣṇa, never forget him. As chapter 8 of Bhagavad Gita says, how to remember Kṛṣṇa? By chanting Hare Kṛṣṇa. 17 purports. Prabhupada puts the Hare Kṛṣṇa Mahamantra, or he says, chant Hare Kṛṣṇa means remembering. So we should. Now, how to become empowered by Super Soul? One of my godbrothers wrote a letter. He's also no longer with us. And Prabhupada wrote to him, he was sent to Germany. He's American, but he was sent to Germany. And Prabhupada said, why are my books not being printed in Germany? And the devotee he said, I can't speak German, so how I can't translate them. Then he said, oh, I think Prabhupada wants me to figure it out, how to do this. So he wrote back, what do I do? Prabhupada said, chant Hare Kṛṣṇa, and Kṛṣṇa will give you intelligence. You need intelligence, then chant. You connect with the Super Soul directly. This was always the answer I got, he said. Prabhupada wasn't the type of manager or leader who would give details. He inspired you to use your creative intelligence. In fact, Prabhupada said there's a kind of individual genius in every living entity. We all have a genius. Did you know that? When I looked, and then he looked up the word genius in the dictionary. Definition of genius was indwelling deity. So that's our genius. A super soul is our genius. Indwelling deity. That's our genius. We just have to contact our genius and we can do wonderful things for Kṛṣṇa. So this, if we are receptive to the voice of Kṛṣṇa, to the voice of Super Soul, Hare Krishna mantra, then Kṛṣṇa will help us to understand him. So this particular devotee was a high school dropout. He didn't finish high school, but after being a devotee for a few years, he was lecturing to the Harvard University faculty. So who can do that? Only devotees can do that, you know. If you're not a devotee, who's the Harvard University is the biggest one in America. How are they going to call you? They're not going to call you. You have to be a devotee. So we have genius in our heart, so we should expand our intelligence by chanting. And so we can connect with Super Soul and expand our intelligence so we can choose the right thing. We always have a choice, Maya or Kṛṣṇa. And our intelligence will help us to choose the right thing. So I'll stop here if anyone has any question, comment. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you for the lecture you've given. Mataji, you told about intelligence and mind, and how mind and intelligence works. I'm just confused about it. Intelligence gives us direction, what is right and wrong. But what does the mind take decisions like?
Maya?
Mind.
Your mind?
Yeah.
Oh, mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so suppose you have a choice between two things. Now the mind says, okay, I accept this or I reject this. That's the mind. Intelligence said, you should accept this and you should reject. Mind doesn't think of what I should accept, what I should. It just accepts or rejects. But intelligence directs you what is good to accept and what is bad to accept. That's the difference. Mind doesn't know good and bad. Just, yes, I take this, I leave that. It doesn't think. Mind is not thinking what is good. But intelligence tells you this is good, this is bad. So you can make the right choice. Okay, somebody over here? Yeah.
What is the meaning of Mayavad?
What is the meaning of Mayavad? Yes, Prabhupada explained in the Purport. Mayavad means someone who thinks Kṛṣṇa has a material body. Krishna's body is Maya. And so Kṛṣṇa is material. So he is a Mayavadi because he thinks Kṛṣṇa is Maya. Krishna's form is Maya. And everything in this world is Maya. And there is no form. Reality means no form, just light. Just light. So they think, like in this room, see, we have light coming. And they would just say, yeah, light is the reality. Light is what we want to be. We want to be light. But an intelligent person will think, yeah, light is here. Where is the light coming from? What is the source of the light? So they want to go to the light, but they don't understand that the light is coming from somewhere. The Brahma Jyoti is coming from Kṛṣṇa. So intelligent person will say, okay, where is the light coming from? Where is the Brahma Jyoti coming from? Where is Brahman coming from? It's effulgence of Kṛṣṇa's body. So they think Krishna is material person. He's not God, he's just maybe a prince or some big yogi or something, but he's not God. He's not Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yes?
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for a very nice class, Mataji. I just needed a clarification. You mentioned this verse, Aham sarvasya prabhavo, sarva dharman parityajya, mamekam sharanam vraja.
Yeah.
Now, Prabhupada translates vraja as go.
Yes, go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
but
go.
nowhere in the translation
Does he say
or
Braj?
the purport, he says
Exactly.
go to Braja.
Yes, exactly. That's why I said it's a commentary. It's not in the translation here. It's a commentary on the translation by one of the acharyas.
Right.
that's-
One
yeah.
of the acharyas says go to Braja.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Prabhupada just says go. But where to go, that is answered in Śrīmad Bhagavatam,
Right,
10th canto.
right.
And Prahlad Maharaj also says, Hidvatma patam, go to the forest. Go to the forest. Hidvatma patam, I can't remember the rest. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, any other question? Yes?
Kṛṣṇa Mataji, you just read indwelling.
Indwelling deity.
Can you tell me more about?
Indwelling deity. Deity means deity. So, yeah, dictionary said it's a deity in your heart. That's genius. And we agree. Yes, it's super soul, is our genius. If you want to be genius, then you contact super soul. If you can contact by chanting. A direct connection. And you will get, I have experience, you will get so much understanding. If you want to understand, the way to understand Prabhupada's books is by chanting. Because we read, sometimes we don't understand. So sometimes I had to give a class for Bhagavatam. I don't understand the one verse, so then I chant one round, and then, yeah, thank you, Kṛṣṇa. I understand. So it really works, chanting. Any other questions? Okay, over here again. We have a few minutes.
Mataji, you said about impersonalist. Like when we were not chanting 16 rounds or we were not devotees, we were also like an impersonalist, right? So then how we can progress our life? Like we are also foolish, like sometimes, we are not having the taste of chanting. And how do we progress to make it more, coming to Vraja and making ourselves stronger?
Well, of course, Prabhupada did explain in the Purport, by devotional service,
Okay.
you will understand Kṛṣṇa. So that's the main thing. You have to understand Kṛṣṇa by performing devotional service and chanting. Prabhupada did say, when you chant Hare Krishna, you will be happy. And if you read my books, you will be convinced. So the two go together. You need to read Prabhupada's books and chant also at the same time. The reading will help you to chant and to do devotional service. It will convince you.
And one more thing you said that, we are we are not so much advanced that we think 24 hours about Krishna.
Yeah.
So how do we check? You said that you have to check like how we have to go on with the time and how we are thinking about Krishna. So how we focus?
Well, Prabhupada gave an example how you can remember Krishna. You go for darshan of Krishna in the morning. You see the dress, you see the flowers. Like today I noticed Radharani had a very special flower crown on her head. So you remember during the day, oh, they were wearing, what color were they wearing? Yellow today it was. Today they were wearing yellow. And usually there's some special kind of flower decoration, like a belt for Kṛṣṇa. One day was this big, huge belt. And there were swans. There were swans flying, swimming on their clothes. So you just notice how Kṛṣṇa is smiling, how he's dressed. And you can remember that during the day. That's the example Prabhupada gave, how to remember Kṛṣṇa during your day. And if you offer some prayers, you can remember the prayer you said also. Okay, so time is over. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Jai Prabhupada.